Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So this is the Simran workshop for Sikh Academy, lesson 1. It'll be a lot shorter than kind of our previous ones, but we're going to record them in the future so people are kind of have the ability to go back and see the videos. Just to give you a quick overview of how it will work, in slide 2, our goal is to basically teach you how to do Simran with your family and to kind of give you an excuse to do Simran with your family. Sometimes we're so busy with stuff we forget. You know, real family, when they get together, other than kind of doing the mechanics of, you know, making sure the laundry's done or certain chores are finished and kind of teaching your kids how to live life properly, we also want to, you know, show you that the family's job is to learn how to do Simran together. The family's job is to be happy. Family's job is to go ahead and meet God together. The homework is to watch the video. You're supposed to do Simran, do the exercises. During the lecture series, what we're actually going to do is we're going to do the Simran for the first 20 minutes. There'll be a test, and then we're going to have a discussion, and we're going to have the second video, third video, etc. Now, the question you have to ask yourself in slide 3 is, do you want to be happy? Gurbani tells us that if you want to be happy, you have to learn how to do Simran. It's very clear. I think all of us want to have a happy life. But how do we define a happy life? You know, one of the problems is when we think about success, like laid out in slide 4, you know, we think success has to deal with how much power we have, how much social status we have, if we're beautiful, if we remained young or people think we're young, and if we have wealth. I mean, we're impressed by those things. But Gurbani tells us that success is defined by when we conquer our mind. Why is that important? When we conquer our mind, we're not influenced by these kind of things. We're not impressed by them. We begin to see God in everyone and everything. And when the family gets along and everyone achieves liberation, that's also success. And you also find happiness in that. So it's very important, I think, if we all said, what would you want? Would you want kind of power, social status, beauty, youth, and wealth, Rajat, Rup, Job, and Mal, and be miserable? Or would you rather have a happy life and have everyone in the family get along, do Simran together, and love one another, and achieve liberation? What would you want? Ask yourself that in terms of what's important and what's not important to you, right? So, turning quickly to the next slide, we have to understand the conflict begins when we do not, when our thoughts don't match. For example, if I say one thing, if I say I want ice cream for dinner and you say no, you're supposed to have broccoli, we're going to have a fight. Why? Because we have a difference of opinion on what is better for dinner. So our job is to make sure our thoughts match and bring our mind into hukam. And when our thoughts match, then there is no conflict. So what are thoughts exactly? The first thing we have to understand is thoughts are Maya. Maya comes in 2 forms. One is sukam and one is physical. The sukam or subtle form of Maya is in the form of our thoughts. So we call it the 3 qualities of Maya. What is the word qualities? We in Gurmukhi we use the word guna or gun. When I'm looking at the quality of someone has physical qualities and they have subtle qualities. What are the physical qualities of someone? Right? Someone's tall, someone's short, someone's skinny, someone's large. There are all these different physical qualities. But there are sukam qualities as well. Somebody's nice, somebody's mean, somebody's happy, somebody's sad, someone's honest, someone's dishonest, right? So these are sukam or subtle qualities. The same thing we have in Maya. We have the physical world, which we see, but we also have the subtle world, the sukam world, and that's in the form of our thoughts. And understanding thoughts is core to our happiness. And there are 3 qualities to Maya. We call them Rajagun, Tamagun, Satagun. And in Rajagun, we have kind of all our worldly qualities. In Tamagun, we kind of have kind of our bad or kind of the least good qualities. And in Satagun, we have our kind of good qualities, which we'd like. When we're looking at Rajagun, we have hopes, wishes, desires, anxieties, and worries. So, for example, you know, when we were children, we all wanted to do something or be something when we grow up. Some people were able to do it, some people weren't, according to their karma. But let's say you wanted to be a doctor. Well, if you had a desire, a hope, a wish, or a desire to become a doctor, right? If you don't study or work hard, well, you're not going to be able to do it. So you have anxiety or worries to help kind of facilitate you fulfill those hopes, wishes, or desires. Okay? But when we go into Tamagun, we also have lust, anger, greed, attachment, pride. And what we have to understand is when we have these kind of qualities, what we're really doing is forgetting God. When we're angry, we're so angry that we can't see from right from wrong. When we have greed, we're so greedy we're taking more than what we need. When we have attachment, we don't recognize that nothing will go with us in this world. When we have pride, we don't understand that God is the doer. In Sattvagun, we actually have compassion, contentment, humility, tolerance, and moral control. But one of the issues in Sattvagun is that sometimes the ego can be very subtle. So if you do something good for someone, you're oftentimes saying, oh, I do all these good things. Don't they remember that I did these things? Or you might say, oh, I do this many things. I never miss out on Gurdwara. I never miss out. I never do these bad things. So people are always talking about their good qualities. But what happens is what they're really doing is living a life in ego, and that ego is subtle. So our job is to learn how to get above these three qualities of Maya so we can understand how to resolve conflict. We do simran to overcome them. If we overcome our thoughts, what happens is, and we overcome Maya, our mind has peace. And when our mind has peace, what does that mean? Conflict is removed. The source of all the conflict is removed. And that is key to our understanding. So Gurmani tells us doing simran on Prab. Over here, Prab means God. Simran obviously means the process of the meditation, which we will be talking about. One does not suffer sorrow. That means that you will have happiness if you do simran. If you don't do simran, you will suffer sorrow. That is just the way it is. Okay? Doing simran on God, right? Doing simran on Prab. No obstacles are met. That means anything in your way will be removed. This is the power of simran. So how do we go ahead and do this simran? This is important to understand as well. The technique that we're going to be covering is called saas simran. We're going to use the gurmantar. The gurmantar is given by the Panch Pyare in front of Sri Guru Granth Sahib, typically when you go ahead and you get baptized, but we're allowed as a Sangat to use the gurmantar. You're allowed to use it, and then as you get more gyan, then you'll understand how to get it. Okay, mantra. Man means mind, tra means tool. Your job is to learn to stop your thoughts. Through the gurmantar, what happens is we're able to stop our thoughts. When we stop our thoughts, we're able to discern what is the difference between right and wrong. The mind is able to come inside of hukam. And the source of all the conflict, the thoughts, and the fact that our thoughts don't match, is actually removed. So if there is a moment of conflict, if the family is trying to make a decision, then we need to do simran in order to go ahead and do that. So Gurmani tells us those who do saas and don't forget are whole and complete as human beings. So what happens is, if you do the saas, how many times in your life can you say that you're perfect? Gurmani tells us if you do saas simran, you're perfect. You're a perfect person. So if you want to achieve perfection, your job is to learn saas simran. So what are the mechanics of saas simran? How do you do it? First thing is we're using the gurmantar. Why Guru? Okay, that's the way we're going to pronounce it. There are many ways. Like a tool, you can use it in kind of many different ways. Hammer can be used for multiple different things, right? Okay? But when we go ahead and say it together as a Sangat, we're going to say Why Guru. And we're going to go ahead and keep it in two parts. Why Guru. Our eyes need to stay shut. If the eyes are open, the mind gets outside of the body. Our job is to bring our mind back into our body. Okay, the mind is always leaving the body. The ultimate goal of the simran is to focus on the sound, and we need to listen with our ears. So, how does it sound? How do we listen? Look at slide 18. Here are the mechanics. See the big ear, see the big head. You're supposed to say why and listen Guru. Why? Hold it. Listen Guru. Why? Guru. Why? Guru. This is the way the simran should be done. So Gurbani tells us inside heart is the harmonium. That means inside of God is the harmonium, which is the pavan, which is the air that we're breathing. So if you want to see God, look at where the air is coming from. Oh, my sustainer. Why do they use the word sustainer here? Because when you go ahead and you understand that God is giving you the breath, and you recognize who is the one providing you with the breath, God is the sustainer. Without the breath, you don't exist anymore. When heart plays it himself, and then only does the harmonium work, that means God himself is playing it. He is playing it himself, right? How does this harmonium work? We have to go Wai Guru. Harmonium comes in, harmonium comes out. We're taking the breath in, taking the breath out. Wai Guru. Wai Guru. Listen to the sound. So our homework, we have to make a detailed schedule. I'm going to show you an example on the next slide. Your job is to make time to do Simran with your family twice a day. You can't do it twice a day, that's fine. You can lump it all together in 20 minutes, but there are weekly increments, so I encourage you to separate it and make time. The reason why is you'll find that what happens is you'll do more Simran throughout the day regardless, if you kind of find 2 or 3 times out of the day rather than just one. Then your job is to watch video 1, which is this, and then we're going to be covering video 2 as well, which will be recorded again. So every week watch the video again, because you'll have exam questions. This week I'm going to cue you in. Your biggest thing is you're going to have to say, what are the 3 qualities of Maya? The other thing is, we hadn't filled the index cards. Basically send us your email address, your ages, all the members of your family who are going to be participating, and give us your phone number. You can email us at mysimran.info with all that information. You can see the schedule as an example over here on slide 21. Please give me detailed hour-by-hour schedule. This way that we'll understand where we can find time for you to do Simran together, at least Monday through Friday. I know things change on Saturdays and Sundays, but this is the escalation in terms of the Simran schedule. Our job is and goal is by week, this is week 12 here, but it's supposed to be 10 weeks. Our job is in 10 weeks to go ahead and get to to go ahead and get to at least 10 hours, 60 minutes of Simran at least a week. So this is a 10-week workshop that we're going to be doing together. Hopefully I'll be seeing you on the 10th week, but I think it's important that we go ahead and participate, get your whole family actively involved in the process of doing Simran, and then begin to enjoy your life and be happy. And that's ultimately the goal of what we're trying to do. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.